Well, hello everyone. Welcome to VR Verdict Podcast, episode 121, our weekly podcast where we talk about everything VR. I am PJ,
Wookiee.
and we'd like to share VR with you. If you can't tell, I have a sore throat, so hopefully it's not too distracting or annoying. What does that mean?
Nothing, audio viewers.
I was just going to get to. We do a bad job. We're going to start doing better. We have no guests this week, but just to remind audio listeners, we do the show from VR, inside VR, live in our custom area. So definitely check out in the show links. There'll be a link to the video if you ever want to just check it out. Video people, we do release the audio as a podcast. If you ever want to listen to it on the go, FYI.
In your cars.
So yeah, if I suddenly stop talking, I hit pause or mute to clear my throat or something. So I don't understand. It's been like 100 degrees out for a week. How does one catch a cold? I don't get math and science.
Too much AC and breeze while you're sleeping. Happens to me all the time.
Maybe. So anyway, yeah, no guest. It's just a Wookiee and Pj episode. Thankfully, we've had quite a couple of busy weeks this past couple weeks in VR, so we have plenty to talk about.
Oh.
I figured we'd start off with the fun we had playing a little Demeo, Curse of the Serpent Lord with the developers of the game.
Yeah, that was good.
So ahead of release, we played a round. We actually made it through. There's videos on YouTube there'll be links to, but kind of funny. We got to the last room, and it was a pre-release, so there was some minor bugs and glitches. So we kind of were able to cheese the end room, which was kind of funny to watch the devs like, oh, make a note of that while you're playing, type of thing. So,
and then be like, don't want to spoil anything, so they just stopped talking, so they wouldn't give anything away. And then we cheesed it, and we were like, that's what we were waiting to surprise you with, and you ruined it, PJ. But it was fun. Saw right behind the curtain. Saw the Emerald, or the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. Just went, whoop, there it is.
But I don't know what you thought, but I thought the new content with the new character, like the new map, was awesome. They did a lot of tweaks to existing mechanics. I think they do such a good job with that game. I love it.
Some bringing like familiarity while making new stuff out of similar things. Like you said, some of the lamps and the new characters. Got like options going out the side, but it's balanced going forward. Like if there's like Archer has power going forward, this person has like options. Can probably be just as strong as any of them, but you have to be creative with it. And I love those characters. I probably play them poorly, but I love the
minutiaes.
Thinking differently. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the videos, we have a couple out there, full playthroughs for the most part. We kind of clip the ending out, just don't want to spoil things. But one of the developers and myself are playing in VR, and Wookiee and the other dev were playing on the PC flat screen edition. So there's a video of cutscenes or like split screen where you see Wookiee and my screens the whole time until your recording cuts out, and then just a mixture of stuff. So really cool. The PC version, I mean, if you've never played the VR version, the PC version is probably awesome. But if you've played both, VR is just the way to go. Just picking up the characters and moving them, just so cool.
I love the fact that they have the PC version. So if you're, on a road trip, your friends are playing, and maybe you have your laptop, but you don't have your headset with you, you can join in a little bit. It's a little like overly focused on your character, and it'll move around and keep things in play visually. The little not really claustrophobic. I was having fun playing it, no big deal, but it was definitely like once you've been able to like look around and pick stuff up, and that's hard to top with anything.
Yeah.
So
it's very set, like you said, on your character, but
very,
still fun.
It's
still
a good effort. It's good representation of doing a game like that with a flat screen.
And it's just like we say in the videos, it's just great to play something we love in VR with people that may not have VR. They can still play and try to lead them to VR.
Sometimes, I might have a headache and I might not really want to put a headset on. Like, I can probably play a flat screen game, but if I put the headset on, I might yak just because I'm not feeling well. I love that you can just still play with your friends, not skip a beat.
Yeah.
I should be taking those nights off, but when people are together and you're hanging out, that's priceless.
Oh. But again, in the video, you can hear kind of them talk about how they worked on it and how much time they put into it and the love they craft into it. So really neat to hear and see that and play it with them. So yeah, check it out. If you're ever looking for backup, I'm around. I'll play Demeo with anybody almost any time. So
Well, like almost anybody at any time. Be nice. Don't be jerk.
The next thing I got to do, which was pretty sweet, was play the main character in the MetaMovie this past weekend, and we've had them on the show. Great bunch of people. They work so hard on that stuff. It is insane. We had them on the show, and before that, I was in one of the movies with as a backup character type of thing. Again, another great experience, totally different from playing the main character, but I'm gonna try and get Wookiee and I on there doing a split main character run and see how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to join at least to watch or something, but I was having trouble with Neo, so I just gave up. I gave up easy that day. Sorry.
But there'll be a link in the show notes in that. Not saying I did a great job. I think I did all right. They tell you they do a super job of making you feel like a movie star. It is crazy from the start to the finish. And then they actually go back and they'll cut up the whole thing and they record from so many angles. They'll make an actual movie out of it and put your name in it. It's top notch. It's awesome.
Nice.
But definitely check it out. I don't know if the story is gripping enough to watch the full movie on a flat screen as a movie, but being in it and participating, and especially being the main character, it's pretty crazy. They are so good at
good enough story to watch. The one last time they were on in the clips I saw, I'd give it a go.
I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying it's neat, especially when you're in it, because they're so good at ad-libbing and stuff that I made a couple character choices. They tell you can do whatever you want, and they'll go with it. And I killed off a main character pretty quick. First, if you watch it, there's reasons, but you can totally roleplay and choose your own adventure 100%, and they go right along with it. The actors are so good.
If you've ever been in a play, even a high school play, it'd be kind of fun to have the whole experience wrapped around you and you not really knowing exactly what's going to happen next. You don't have to learn your lines. You just have to be present. So that is kind of a really neat thing.
It was kind of funny, a little peek behind the curtain. The character I ended up taking out actually was playing from a hospital bed. He fell off a ladder and really wrecked his body. And this was his first time coming back. So he was happy I took him out early so he could quit. But
it was another player?
No, it was one of their actors, the main actors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. The main actor.
Yeah. But it was kind of cool. The guy he was playing, the character, gives you little cues you can play off if you want to, kind of doing a little back side dealing and hey, I won't spoil anything, but if we do something if we were to kill one of them, we'd get a bigger cut type of thing, and you can ignore it. You can say something about it, or you can do what I do and just take them out.
He offered it to you,
But
and you take him out.
he didn't offer it, and they were not expecting that. So they were. It's weird because I did that, and they were just like in love with the fact that I did it because like that never happened before. It made us change it up and react to it, and just
Yeah, it's fun.
the whole team is a crazy bunch. But what's really cool before you even start, they'll kind of give you a little list of stuff like you want to name your character, like pick your planet name from where you're from, and kind of create a backstory. And your character, really cool, wears a mask, and it's like any gender could play it, so it's really neat. And if they get to it, they'll ask you like, why do you wear a mask? And I had this whole thing written up, and they never asked me about it because I threw him for such a loop killing that guy. It's so awesome. I just thought that was funny. But you can act and talk as little as you want. You can go overboard, like anything you want to do. It's crazy. I can't, being like one of the smaller parts in a non-speaking role is cool enough, but being the main character, like I want to do it. I just want to do it again. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And then there's a fun
Acting.
after party.
Genius.
What's that?
I said just acting genius.
So there'll be links to that in the show notes too. Check it out. It's so cool. If anyone ever wants to try it, I'll participate and go with them too. I don't care. It's a fun time. You want me to keep rolling with my stuff, or you want to talk about anything?
I thought you were still going. Sorry.
Oh no.
I don't really haven't had time to play much lately. So we played, Elven Assassin the other day, a while back, and then
Yeah.
the Demeo. So
I do. We had shit. I'm gonna kill myself. Not really. That's not funny.
That's not funny.
The Atlas Mystery Group. We had them on last. Mm-hmm. I really wanted to take their suggestion and play that game with you and start it and talk and do it at the same time.
Yeah, we can set that up. I really want to check it out.
Yeah.
It might be a long running, recording if we record that, because I'm going to be looking at all the magazines or whatever they got laying around.
It's nice. Stream it. You don't have to record it. Just stream it. I think that'd be fun.
I did check out Lo-Fi, and it's pretty rough, and it didn't really, couldn't really do much. I couldn't buy ammo for the gun, but I got to some spot and I saw a comic book, and it looked like a fully fleshed out comic book, like pages and pages. That's all I did. I just sat there reading a comic. I'm like, why am I in VR reading a comic book? But here we are. So if there's anything like that in the ambiance atmosphere in the Atlas, I'm going to be like, yeah. That's a great light switch you found. Hang on a second. I'm just thumbing through penny books.
Yeah, Lo-Fi has been in development for so long. I stopped checking it out because I just wanted to see the final product, but I don't know what his timeline is. But it's cool.
Star Citizen. Yeah, I just gave up.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Citizen, I looked at some ships from No Man's Sky. They've been updating. They got ships with like solar sails now, like big blue panels flip out, and I'm like, what is this? Never seen these things. I'm like, how long was I asleep?
Yeah. There's still constant updates to that game. It's so crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Another cool thing I did last week. There's a free app on Steam. It's called the Museum of Other Realities. Sorry, and you can go in there and just check out exhibits and all kinds of cool stuff. They've had DLC. Some of it's been paid. Some of it's free. You can check it out. But what I really freaking love about it, um, you can go in there and there was a painting, and it was just kind of like a forest painting, and I had a little fire, and it had orange and blue, which are my favorite colors, so looks really neat. But you see it kind of on a table, and you can point at it and go right into the painting and just walk around in the freaking painting. It's so freaking
I love
cool.
that stuff.
And there's so many. There's like an underwater exhibit and stuff, and all kinds of cool stuff. But this last week they had the Tribeca Film Festival in there, so it's kind of like a DLC. And you go into their little area, and they had just these really neat little gates for each. They had like 10 or more different areas. Like there were a couple short movies, like indie movies that were really cool, made for VR. Um, they had the LGBT plus communities layout there. That was really cool. Yeah, I watched one of the indie films. It was like 24 minutes. I don't know what the hell what was going on, but it was a freaking awesome ride. It was just black and white, and there was a story I didn't really understand, but it was so freaking cool. Highly recommend that if you guys ever. I don't know how long the Tribeca stuff might be gone already, but still worth checking out.
Museum of all other realities.
Yep,
Cool.
they have a lot of exhibits, and then they have these little. They call them turtles. It's like this green little disc in the floor that just very slowly moves around, so you can just stand on it, and you and your friends can just go around and look at all the exhibits and talk, or you can run around on your own too.
This is just VR, or
yeah, it's totally VR. You can there's different drinks you can pull out, and one drink will make you tiny, one drink will make you huge, and the other drink will make you normal size. So they had some trying to remember if they were robotic. I think they were just like kind of like a dinosaur exhibit. So I made myself tiny and I was walking around, and it was just really neat because they're freaking huge, obviously. So a lot of cool stuff. I didn't know if yeah, I don't know if it was proper to share video or pictures of things, so I haven't. But a lot of cool stuff to see in there. Actually, Ashley, one of the developers we talked to from Demeo and played with, she had a piece in the exhibit. It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like, I know that name. Awesome.
That's neat stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a bit dry in VR stuff. We did play that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge or whatever.
Yeah.
Shredder's Return Revenge, probably, on Xbox. That was actually a hoot. It's like a perfect sequel to an old NES or Super Nintendo game. Like, they couldn't have done it better, I don't think. The voices could have been closer, but
yeah, there's a few tiny tweaks, but it's so good.
It's really fun.
Like with all the games on, Series X, PS5, VR, whatever, all the big stuff out. Like that game is one of the games I've been thinking about at work. And that's how I know like I really like something.
Yep.
And it's a 2D beat 'em up.
Yeah, 2D beat 'em up, old arcade style. And they're still, if you do them right, they can't beat them.
Yeah. I would love to see some kind of version of that in VR, because I love there's like 2D games in VR. I love those things. Like I think that'd be a lot of fun. We should try playing that in big screen or something.
Playing that in big screen? How?
On Steam or something. Because you can do the Steam, like whatever their split screen is over online. I forget the term, but
I'd to try it out. I'd try to stream that, get a video of it.
It's probably kind of pointless, but just fun.
Still, I mean, if you're playing a big screen and if you have your headset on and two people in a theater playing, split screen, or because it's the same kind of old school thing where everyone has to stay on the same part of the screen, so you can't really progress unless your buddies walk forward. So it would be fine in a gigantic movie auditorium theater thing. If that's what you mean, if you can play a big screen, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, because with my Rift, Oculus, Meta, whatever you want to call it, you can still use an Xbox controller and it works perfectly for all of it. So really neat. I wonder how that would work controlling two things, but we'll have to check it out. It was funny. About an hour before we came on here, Beth's like, "You guys playing something tonight, or what are you doing tonight?" I'm like, "We have a podcast. It's Thursday." Oh yeah,
That's the rumor.
she's like, and just the way she said it was funny. You guys playing something tonight? I'm like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "No, we have a podcast." Oh, who's on? Who's on the show? I'm like, no one. It's just Wookiee and I. We don't have a guest. Oh, you don't have a guest this week, huh? I'm like,
Why is she acting like that?
she's just fucking with me. It's funny. I'm like, fuck you, and I left. Not relevant to anything. I just thought it was funny. Made me laugh.
Fuck you, wife. Go away.
So I'm 40 something years old, and it's just funny because obviously we play stuff together and we play with our nephew and other people, and it's just like when she says things, it's kind of like momming me, I call it. Like, you gonna go play your little games? Like, fuck you.
You gonna go read your little romance novels, Beth?
Yeah.
Whatever she read.
You know, watch your trash TV.
Yeah, if I ever walk by her in real life, she's reading a book, I'm just gonna flip it up. It's like, just smack it. You reading your little books? Your little left or right, top bottoms?
It was funny. If anyone on Twitter follows us, I tweeted this Sunday night, but one of her favorite podcasts is called Reality Gaze. And it's two gay guys that watch all the trash TV and kind of rip on it. It's pretty funny.
That's got to be fun. Yeah.
They were they're traveling around, so they were in a city near us, so we went and saw them, and it was pretty cool. Pretty good time. Recommend it. They seem like bad weather follows them everywhere they go. They brought the heat wave, and then the next town, like there's some kind of storm, like blizzard or something. I was crazy, but aside from that, I recommend it. It's a good time.
Did they come down here? Because we have a heat wave too. Jesus.
I think they did. I don't know how close to you, but because I think they were down there, and then they went to New York and came our way. So
you keep putting your throat at something. It's in a pill.
I was trying to figure out how could we do sign language with pill hands, like in case I couldn't talk at all.
You just do like the semaphores thing, kind of like the Battle of Five Armies. You had the flags of the different, positions. It all just means something else.
Speaking of Five Armies, we'll get back to VR here, but I just started Return of the King audiobook a couple days ago. We got through all the rest of them.
Through.
Andy Serkis narrating. Jesus Christ, that's an audiobook. I don't remember how it came up at work, but a couple of people at work, like my old boss that sits next to me now, and the other person, something came up about reading a book, and I mentioned that, and then we just sat there and talked about Lord of the Rings for like an hour. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'm going back to the Hobbiton. I'm going back to the Hobbit Hole. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Tomorrow is Wookiee's birthday, and he's going back to Hobbiton soon.
The end of July or so.
It's awesome. Yeah, I think that's how I was telling him about that. I don't know how it came up, but turned into how we were all gonna start identifying as hobbits and eating more and getting fat.
Not that we're going way off the rails. We are, but I've been eating like less. Been going one meal a day and it still works. I'm so shocked. So I'm not a hobbit anymore. They can't eat
Yeah.
one meal a day. What does that make me?
Yeah.
An
Elf?
orc? Why can't we have some? Anyway, back to VR. What's new coming out for VR?
Oh, don't ask me stuff like that. There's so much crap I can't even like grasp it all. But the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot every week. Right now, there's the Steam summer sale. So,
Yeah.
any
Good
games
God.
you want to check out, it's the best time.
Yeah. I keep getting the pop-ups on my phone, and it's just like you have a. Sometimes it'll tell you the name of the game that's on sale, that's on your wish list. It says you have something, and I'm like, oh, and I look, and it's just scrolling. Like everything I've ever wish listed ever is on sale. Like, oh no.
Yep. I was thinking about that. Cause like I have all the consoles, so like Nintendo games, they'll go on sale, but it's like 5% off. So I was wondering that today. You should probably focus on if you have a backlog. Nintendo doesn't seem to do a very good job of, bringing their older catalogs of games forward. So I'm like trying to figure out which game to play next and clean up my backlog. I've been trying to do that a little bit. I'm like, maybe I got to start there because I don't trust them to bring any of those games. Like, if I buy 5 games because they're like 25 or like 75% off and I never play them, it's probably safer to have those on computer and Xbox where they actually carry that stuff forward. And,
We just build a new computer, yeah.
Or on the Switch, like, yeah, they have some of the 64 games online now if you have the online service, but it's not like if you buy it and don't play it for like 5 years, you're guaranteed to play it just because you have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Used to love Nintendo hardcore, but I got sick of buying the same games over and over again, not just the eShops, but it just burns me out because I'll just be like, oh, I'm going to play that again. I know it's on sale. I'll buy it, and be a few years, and then it's like, can't play it. Different console, got to buy it again. Like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
It drives me batty.
Or like,
I get it.
Mario Kart's like 8 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree though. Yeah. I was trying to think of the last couple games I actually completed, air quotes, pill quotes. Because I got a PS5 to get ready for VR, PSVR 2 coming out. So I was checking out old PSVR games, which the ones that are exclusive are freaking fabulous, I must say. But so I've also picked up some of the older, like really good games I've never been able to play because it's my first PlayStation. Blah blah blah. So I bought a couple games. I'm like, don't create a backlog on here too now. Like, settle down. I finished Spider-Man. I'm halfway through the second, like the Miles Morales one. Good stuff. I finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have some DLC to get through, but I finished the game. I think I had like 400 hours on it.
Jesus.
So I was trying to like remember what games have I actually finished lately. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. I'll say that.
Did you finish GTA storyline in VR?
I have not. So, and the only reason for that,
you can't see me, but I'm turning my head.
Is GTA, like they update their freaking launcher, and every time they do that, you gotta remember how to update the mod and go through it, and it's just like
Yeah, that stuff drives me crazy.
That's the only reason it's still on my list. I have like a short list of stuff I have to do. It's on there, but I accidentally bought the Ghost of Tsushima on PS5.
Yeah.
I had it on my wish list. Or no, I was trying to figure out, this was the only game I couldn't get to wish list. So I was like fucking with it, and I somehow bought it. I was like, well, I guess that fixes that, but Haven't
Yeah.
started it yet because I've been going through what's the one with the dinosaurs or the monsters and shit.
So Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I've really liked that game, and now that they've announced the VR version or addition to the second one when PSVR 2 comes out, I'm really pumped because I know you tried it and didn't care for it much, but I'm at least halfway through that in a very short amount of time. So
I just got bored. It was like, I mean, it was fun to play, but it's just like repetitive.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, that should be a little more lenient on this. But I mean, robotic dinosaurs, bows and arrows with,
yeah,
red hair. What's to go wrong? But it just was like, it was dragging, and I was so sad. Ghost of Tsushima is way more my style. But then I got annoyed because they have all these cool outfits you can get. You can, dress yourself like a little old samurai. But then there's like the quiver always shows up, like the arrow quiver. Even if it's empty, it's like sticking out of your back, and it ruins all the clothes. I was like, I think I'm gonna wait because like 8 million people were requesting to hide that just so they could walk around and take photos and shit. I'll wait until they patch that out. I just haven't finished it. But
Nice.
Ghost of Tsushima is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
It's Tenchu with the samurai, like honorable samurai combat is skill and timing based, and then the Tenchu stealth combat is just patience based. It is pretty fucking rad.
that's my driving force to finish Zero Horizon Dawn or whatever it's called. So
Horizon Zero.
yeah.
Zero Horizon Dawn.
Yeah, my brain sucks sometimes.
Yeah,
but I played Wipeout. It's like a racing game. It's like fucking pod racing in VR. Only that some races have weapons. Like that's pretty fucking cool. Like
I remember Wipeout
check
being
it out.
like a cool thing, but I didn't know it had a VR. That's PlayStation only?
Yep. So it came out on PS4, and then they did a PS5 upgrade for it. So
I just don't like exclusives. I got a gold PS4 just sitting there. It's like,
well, that's why I got the PS5 to get ready for VR. Like, what? I found a version 1 headset for pretty cheap, and it's like brand freaking new. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. Controllers are a little goofy with some games, but overall, like they have a light gun. I don't know why the hell Meta doesn't have a light gun, because the games you can play with that light gun, it's fucking phenomenal. Like, what the hell?
They would dominate the market, because I'm still like, every time we play a shooter game, we get kind of into it. We don't all have time to play at the same time a lot. But when we start to get into it, I'm like, I really need, like a gun with a stock, because it's so hard to like aim a sniper at long distances, because on the Quest you can't really see long distances. So sometimes you're not aiming long distances, but your arm shakes because you don't have anything to hold on to. It drives me nuts, because what were we playing recently? The Zero Caliber.
Yeah.
Like they have, I got like the 50 cal in that game, and if I can hit something, it's one hit. Like you guys are shooting at somebody, and I'm like, send them across the room. But then if I try to use the fucking scope, it's like, and it seems kind of realistic, but it's also like I can't lay down. The game doesn't really seem to like that, and there's no like place to lay. Like when you lay down, you're like almost like under the ground. If like there's one little bump rise, it can't really seem to get over that to shoot. Pain in the ass for like a run and gun, small map game. So
Yeah.
I really want, stock. If they just gave you a fucking light gun that still had controller buttons and shit on it with the joysticks, come on, guys.
And that's exactly what the PlayStation one is. It's on each handle, it's like a controller. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it seems like you could just totally do it, because that's all the magnetic little gun stocks they have are just like, and it just make that into a fucking controller.
Yeah.
Pricks. I probably hurt myself with it anyway.
Probably. I played some Blood and Truth. That's pretty phenomenal. It's like an action. You're kind of sitting in a movie. It's just kind of on rails to a point, kind of not. You can kind of choose where to go and stuff, but It's pretty crazy. And then Astrobot is like a VR platformer that's really neat. But I like they have a. I haven't got to play with other people because there's no one else here, but they have a lot of asymmetrical game modes, like a lot, and they all seem like they'd be fun as hell. So next time we have
How
everyone
many
together,
people?
well,
How many people do you need to play those? Because I'm always
you only
interested in
need
asymmetrical combat too.
you only need two, but they can. It's like 2 to 6, depending on the game mode.
But if it's like
And
one
one of
versus
them,
five and
yeah,
stuff like that,
like one of them, the VR player is a cat, and all the other people are little mice, and you have to like hide from the cat, and you have to like the cat can like swipe and try and catch you, and you have to like get to the hole. Like it's just fucking cool. That's just one. There's like at least 10 or more, I think, different modes like that. Just really neat stuff.
so
Like one,
is it
you're kind of
not
like
everybody's in
God.
VR? Sorry.
No, only one person's in VR, and the other people are playing on the TV with controllers, like a normal game.
Oh,
So there's another one where like the VR guy is like Godzilla or King Kong, and the other four are like trying to kill you, and you're running around like shooting, and the map kind of scrolls sometimes, and like I can pick you up and like tear you apart or throw you, but on your screen, like I'm just fucking huge, and you're just it's just like a shooter at that point, like a third person. It's just cool stuff.
yeah, I love those games. Just wish you had more people in your house. You don't have that much.
Yeah. That's like always been my one argument to have children. Like I'd always have someone to play with. I might not
They'd
always
resent you.
enjoy it, but
They'd resent you.
probably. Like fuck you,
People
we're
who
not playing your shit.
people who want their kids to grow up and play sports, their kids play piano and vice versa, and
Been there, yeah. My plan was to pretend to not want them to play shit,
yeah,
and then they would play shit.
keep them out of there. Yeah, they break into your thing and like just like get gum and cheese and shit all over your controller, and
Oh.
you're secretly you're like yes, because they're interested in your game.
The punishment is you have to play with me all weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the levels I choose. Yep.
Yeah. Well, that time went quick.
Can I pose a real life conundrum?
Yeah.
What time is it?
It doesn't matter.
So I'm, and you know me more closely than most.
Yeah, let me get in this chair.
People.
Seems...
Yeah. So like most of the time, my brain seems like I lean towards minimalism, right? So I don't, do this except for like when rare things catch me. I have piles of Legos. I see these Joy Toy robots, and I'm like, what the hell? What the fuck is this? And now I have like 6 of them. They're way too expensive. They're way too cool. They got like canvas backpacks. Like you look at the back of the box, and it's just like this weird skinny robot, but it's got all this like actual canvas bags, like ammo bags and pouches, and those little clips that you gotta like squeeze to get like your backpack strap off. It's got those, and you need tweezers to like get them stuck together. And I've got like too many of those, but it's kind of like it's gonna make me sound stupid. I love cars. PJ knows that. Got the old Volvo, and it's like the dream car thing. But sometimes I lean back and say, like, you know what? I need to just sell all the cars. I've only got like 2-ish. But my brain's like, I need to like sell all the cars and just get like the Toyota Corolla that everybody drives. Just because you used to be able to get them cheap and they're reliable as crap. They're no frills. I just need just get rid of all these things that I'm paying for. And in my hunt for that, the used car market is nuts. So the car I have is Toyota CHR, gorgeous, perfect. It's only missing one feature that I need. And it's just like blind spot monitoring. No, blind spot monitoring. I don't need a ball warmer. It's fucking 100 degrees down here. But that car I bought, it now sells for like $5,000 to $6,000 more than I bought it for. The exact same car, like this one. And it's like, well, shit. And now those Toyota Corollas, they're all like 16, 18 grand, which is almost exactly what I paid for this 10-year newer car with all the features and, none of the miles. And it's like the used car market is nuts. Like, what the hell is going on? So I'm like, well, that can't, like, it wouldn't make any sense for me in any facet to get rid of the car I have to trade in for anything. Like, it just doesn't make sense. The old classic car I have shot up 36% in value for the condition, like the good condition where passersby can't really see any of the problems. 36%. Like, it's worth over twice what I paid for it. I'm like, holy shit. And I hear Nicole, she's going to slap me for talking about it. Girlfriend's walking around. She doesn't like my new idea. So while I was looking for like safe daily drivers with a little bit of fun, because I was like, maybe I keep the Volvo, get rid of the Toyota. Before I realized that I did the numbers, and it would be a dumbass decision to get rid of either one of those. I stumbled onto these Mazda Miatas, which you've seen them everywhere. They're 30 years old. There's millions of them, and everyone's like, except for them being a small car, everything lines right up. Like, you get gas mileage, dependable, parts are cheap, easy to fix. Handles great, safe, all this stuff. And I was like, well, I never really thought of one before. And I don't really like convertibles. I think most of them are. Then I met this dude. He Ferrari trained, like body shop mechanic, anything from like the 60s to 80s Ferraris. Modifies, like upscales things and, does like restorations on classic cars. He makes his own bodies to put on Miatas, because Miatas, if you don't know PJ and other folks, I kind of knew, but I didn't really put two and two together. They're like, everyone loves the little British roadster, like sports car things, but the reliability on those is like, you're going to have a pack of wrenches because you're always going to be wrenching. And people that like those old British sports cars, they like to do the wrenching. So somebody was like, why don't we make little tiny British roadster cars that everyone likes, but with Japanese quality? So that's what the Mazda Miata is. So you can run them for like 400,000 miles and shit. He makes like Ferrari style bodies, like body kits, and like makes the whole car. And he did like an Aston Martin and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So now,
don't tempt me.
I kind of want to buy one of those, because he's got one like, like it's like 25 or 15K to start with, like the convertible one. You got to provide a donor car, and then it's that. I'm like, oof, that's doable.
Let me say something for the listeners, just for reference. If you ever play GTA with Wookiee, he owns every freaking property and has like whatever 50 cars on each property. Like, he has a problem.
Well, I keep trying to count those cars, and I keep forgetting to count. Like, you can go through the phone menu, and I'm like, I lose count. Like, I'd have to write it down and take screenshots because there's just so many.
Like, if someone made a VR game, just a bunch of garages and different cars, where you could just drive the car from one garage to the other, that's it. He'd be in heaven, I think.
I'd be like, well, I got to make it like some people, organize their GTA garages with all of the Ferrari knockoffs and all the same color. And mine's like, well, you need them, especially in like the business office. It's all pretty and lit. I'm like, I've got them all staggered. There's like a couple of old racers, and with the logos, and then like a Corolla DeVille car in hot pink, or like metallic pink that I've had for ages. But yeah, so now here I am trying to get rid of like stuff. Get rid of all this stuff, because it's weighing on my mind, and I don't need it, because that's a tendency. And then as soon as I'm trying to like make the math work on getting rid of vehicles, my brain's like, you could just add another one.
It's way easier. It's half the work.
Yeah. And it's like, I try to do research, all these YouTube mechanic people, and I watch some of these videos, and even a guy at work, and everyone's like, you won't regret it. Like, they don't know about the customization for the body, just the Miata itself. Everyone's like, you won't regret it, because nobody regrets it. I guess maybe if they, suck at driving, they might. But like all the people who are like, just get it. They buy a one from like 1990 with like 150,000 miles. Are like, best decision I ever made. I'm like, how can you struggle to be like more minimal focused and keep buying shit at the same time, and then there's a huge cognitive dissonance in there. And it's like,
I'm
Wookiee
the
ain't got
wrong
time
person
for
to
this
ask.
shit. You don't care about cars at all.
Oh no, cars, but like same problem, different medium. Like I just built that Optimus Prime Lego set. I have no fucking where to put them.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I still have my eyes on like 3 other things. Like I'm gonna build an add-on to my house out of Legos for my Legos.
I don't think it goes to store Legos. And yeah, like the Lego catalog had like Forestman's Hideout, which I didn't pull the trigger on because I didn't want to spend $150 on Legos. Then I was like, how much is the old one? Because there's Bricklink and other sites like that. And you can get the old one that I used to have. It's like Nostalgia Kick. And I messaged PJ about it. I was like, oh my God, but until the 22nd of June, if you spend $150, you get this remake of it. And that's one of my
Which
favorite sets from childhood.
is fucking bullshit because I bought Optimus right before that offer, and I'm buying the droid from Jedi Outcast. It comes out right after that
Is it
deal is up.
the new metal, like squarish droid? Like the big one?
Yeah.
Is like $100?
Yeah. So I'm like, I emailed them like, can we do something here? No. Like, what?
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean, it's
get
only
the set for like
$24
$35,
set.
yeah, $24. But like, I went to buy it because I'm silly that way. But there was like no buy button, so I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's probably waiting till after that sale was done. But the original you
Probably.
get for like $80. I was like, well, I don't want to. Like, I'm trying to get rid of these Legos, and I see that one
Yeah.
that sparked that.
So
Pardon me.
they put out the hideout one. They're redoing the old main huge spaceship one. They're redoing or re-releasing one of the huge fucking castles from way back that are way cooler than the ones they have now. It's like, stop.
Yeah, because the ones they have now I have no interest in, but the old ones had like the hill and they were built on it. They are coming
Yeah.
out with like a big one, a new one that's like $400. That
Yep.
thing looks fucking rad. It's like it wraps around and it turns like into a little castle villa. But when you wrap it around, I'm like, that shit needs to go on my desk. Like I need to sell all the other ones, but it's like I still have the Ultimate Collector Series Snow Speeder in the box.
That's
I haven't
crazy.
touched it. I've got like I have probably more Ultimate Collector Series ones in the box, and then like I ain't got time for all this shit. And then those robots. I mean, I could probably make 20K out of just the junk I have in my house because it appreciates in value and stuff. So like, I keep trying to get rid of shit. As I'm trying to get rid of shit, I see shit, and then I want to buy that shit, and it's like I need to go be a
I feel
monk.
bad when I'm like, hey, check this out. I'm like, probably shouldn't show them that. Because those robots are freaking cool. You got me one for my birthday last year, the year before. I'm not sure which one, but yeah, totally posable and freaking awesome. And you can do so much crap with them. It's just
my Twitter pic is one of the robots I opened and did it. I did like little pequeño like finger gesture, and you can do that. And they have all these guns and shit. So like I need that one and that one and that one and that one.
yeah.
I don't need it.
Like I want to buy those, and even with Legos, it's like I want to make stop motion films. Like, but to bring it back to VR a little bit, why the fuck isn't there a Lego VR game where you can just dump out a bin of bricks and build shit, and then just like that museum, shrink down and drive whatever the fuck you build, and have like a quest editor and map editor and all that shit.
Lego has missed the boat. They keep making games, and they're just adventure games. I'm sure people love them the way they are, but it's like if you did that,
I want to build.
If you could dump out pieces and build that shit, or if it had plans where you could build like the castle that I'm talking about, or the Forceman's Hideout, and make a bunch of these things and shrink down and make an RPG and run through that shit.
Yeah.
Wookiee wouldn't leave
I
the
would
bedroom.
pay double for any set. Like if
to get
you
it unlocked in the game.
Yep, you unlock it in the game, you can build it, and you can run around in it. Like Jesus Christ, that's all I want.
Yeah,
like you said, the action games are fun, but I want to build shit. It's Lego. That's what Lego
shit
is.
And then use it, because if you could have like in VR, you could have like one of my favorite movies of all time is the old 1938 Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. It's all swashbuckling and they're kicking people off the stairs. Like if you do that shit to Lego guys and hear like the Wilhelm scream, wow, as they're going off the fucking side of a staircase, or like the Helm's Deep. Can you imagine that shit? Probably crash your headset, but like it's our Lego. Like they had like a Lego City game that kind of looked like GTA, but it wasn't even multiplayer. You couldn't even co-op that shit. That was kind of like that one might be it, but it's like no, can't do anything. But if
Yeah.
you just
Well,
did in like an all-out Lego game, I would be hard to get me away from that.
what kind of gave me hope for a bit there was they were doing AR shit with the sets, and then they also had the interaction like what was it, Lego, kind of like the Skylander games where they had all the
Oh yeah,
actual
little
toys,
statues.
but you could like put it in the game and shit. Like I'm like, okay, it's coming. That's the next step to VR here, and,
Yep.
and then it's like, what the hell? That's what I want.
Yep, and they have stuff where you can
Audio
go online
listeners,
and
I dramatically looked at the camera. Sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
come on Lego. I'll just say like they have the things where you can kind of like digitally build stuff and make instructions, and then you can buy all the pieces you do, so you can build your own custom sets. But
Yeah.
it's like, and then it's like you're almost there.
Warmer, warmer.
These headsets have hand tracking. You just pick, yeah, because I'll still,
I mean, there's finger tracking now. I'll tickle someone's bum in VR if they make this goddamn game. Like I don't
it's
care.
not what I meant. I meant, putting the Lego.
I know.
Like, yeah, I still walk by the Lego aisle when I go to like Target or some shit, and I'll see like little city things with like the trucks and the monster trucks and the race cars, and I have a couple, rally cars like as big as your palm of your hand Lego cars on the shelf. It's like you could put some driving physics in that, make a rally game. I mean, you do whatever you want in Lego.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, there's something therapeutic about putting Lego sets together. Like, you bought me the Castle Grayskull for Christmas. And I always have like a long break on Christmas, so
And it's like
Beth,
the next 3 Christmases and birthdays combined because it was like $300. But girlfriend was
totally
like,
worth
"You
it.
got to get it for him," and I was like, "I know, you got to do it."
So, I mean, the set is so fucking cool, and like it was so fun to put together. It took me like 4 or 5 nights, but like at that same time, the memories I have of building it, because I was building that. Beth was um either like, I don't think she was painting or diamond painting, but she's doing some kind of craft thing. And we watched Golden Girls the entire time. And it was like right the week Betty White died. So I was like, that's weird. So like just the memories built into that. And then same thing with Optimus. She was painting, I was doing that, and we kept watching Golden Girls. Like it's just so cool and relaxing and totally like bliss. It's just like I want that in VR, god damn it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, no joke. If they started like Emu VR, where you're in like a '90s bedroom and you build Legos, and then you're just basically level designing, because we used to make stop motion Lego videos when we had like summer between school and shit like that. Like it would, like they missed the boat on the game when Minecraft came out. It's kind of like Lego the video game.
Yeah.
But the game we're describing here, if fucking Lego built it, god damn.
Yeah. You could take any set, like I said, with a simple quest editor, do any fucking story you wanted, and like with you and GTA Race Creations, like sky's the limit. Like what the fuck? Come on. Put out a new set every month, week. I don't care. I'll buy it. Like just do it.
After we revamp the studio, and we can have like synced up avatars and things like that, so everyone shut about the pills. Spend more time on the booth and the lighting. Then Cyril's going to tear that apart. Already have. But then maybe make like a clubhouse, like launch a Patreon. Only Patreon subscribers can go to the clubhouse underneath, like in the basement, and have all these little added on mini games, like make a Lego set.
Yeah, there's gonna be a Lego table.
Yeah, just like boop, and it's full of Legos, and you just put them together. Nobody would talk. No guests would say anything. They'd just be putting Legos together and be like, "Yeah, I need that flat 2x4 thing," and then that's it.
I was trying to tell Beth, like when we were, I don't know, 7 or 8, playing Lego, like we just sit there building shit. Oh, you got a thin 4x4 block. Yeah, we had our own
Yeah.
little language and description. Like,
Yeah,
I was trying to describe to her like, this is what we called this piece, and she's like, I don't get it.
Yeah. They need that angled 3-block thing, and it's like the little corner thing. It never had one of the separator things. Those are like rich people things. The little thing you push and pull the blocks apart. Never had one. Now they can all come with them. You had to order those separately. And it's like, I can't get the $4 for that. I could get another set for $4, like a small one, you know. Rich people.
I have like 50 of those things laying around.
Yeah.
I tweeted at Lego and I'm like, can we start like a trade-in program for these? Like, can I get like 50 black blocks for this? Or
Yeah.
Nothing.
Imagine making like the Star Wars games shit, because I got like the sand crawler shit, you know, and like you buy that, and if you could scan that somehow, put that in the game, and then make like Tatooine, you got like the land speeder, and that's all you bought, and I trundle up in the fucking thing, and I'm trying to run you over or something like that.
I have Jabba's Palace, the full fucking thing.
Yeah.
And a Skyhopper. What else is sitting over there?
Yeah, I got piles of these damn things, duplicates and shit. I think I need to get really good at taking photos and then get rid of them. Just keep the photos, because I've got like the prequels, like Anakin Starfighter. I've got a yellow one and a black one, and like why did I need two? I got a couple of V-wings that I didn't even know existed. Like, oh, I forgot there was a V-wing, and I have two.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
I have the Mines of Moria set, and that's like the only one I don't dust, so it has like this really cool looking layer of dust on it and shit. Stupid.
Like when in the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings movie, when they open the book of Mazarbul or whatever, and like the dust gets on Sam, he's like, I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Good times. But yeah, buy Legos, kids. Buy mine. I'll put them up for sale. Support the podcast by paying me triple. So I, get even harder on those new tax things that they're doing with the $600 limit, and then you get a 1099 or whatever that bullshit is.
Man. Don't bring up that stuff. This is a happy place.
How am I supposed to sell Legos? I gotta sell all my shit so I can buy this car.
Well, I was telling Beth, like, Castle Grayskull, she's like, all right, you built it. Now what? Now it goes up on the shelf. And then what? And every time I look at that goddamn thing, I get happy. And at some point, I'm going to take it off the shelf, destroy it, and rebuild it. Duh.
Tweak a little. But that thing had like all the same little traps and doodads that the old He-Man toy had, the big fucking plastic, and all these elevators and shit. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it is insane. You okay?
Sorry, I tapped my headset. I tapped my headset, and I didn't realize it. And then trying to untap it, I tapped it again. It was no. But me having to get you that Castle Grayskull set just because of what it is and what it stood for and all that shit. It's got all the same things as me with this other fucking car. It's like daily driver, but it looks like it's a fucking Ferrari looking thing. And then but I can't. Every instinct says it's stupid, but every other instinct says it's fucking go. And then it was the same thing, but yours is getting you that Lego set was worth it.
When you said you jabbed your headset, I was playing Blood and Truth last night, and the motion controllers, like for PlayStation PSVR 1, they're like this tall. And I grabbed a grenade. On it. Yeah. I grabbed the grenade. I'm like, and I had a gun in my other hand. I'm like, I wonder if I can bite the pin out. So I do that, and I'm not used to that thing. So I like punch myself in the face. Thankfully, the little ball on top is actually like squishy, so it wasn't that bad. But I was like, God damn it! Like,
yeah,
made me laugh.
That's why they don't have gun controllers for the Quest people, because I'd be killing myself with it. There's too many Quests out there. You can't be sure everyone's not going to punch the TV.
I don't. If I punch myself once in a while, it's worth it. I don't care.
Give us bring back the old things like the old Super Scope from the Super Nintendo. Give us something like that in VR, you know, because that shit was fun. I don't care how old you were, how
If
poor you were. You couldn't have one, but friends
on the
had them.
Switch with all that shit, what are they called? With all the cardboard stuff?
Oh, the almost like the Ingenuity stuff, but yeah, they had the little
Yeah.
cardboard
So I
foldable
grabbed,
things.
I think almost all those sets when they were like, oh, these aren't doing well, and they kind of were like 75% off. I grabbed them. They have the VR set with, they actually have VR glasses and stuff. And half of the games on there, like they have 30 mini games, whatever. It's just like Super Scope shit. It's so fucking cool. Like, yeah.
How did those things fail? Like, did they not advertise?
I don't think
Did
they
not
did
market?
because, you know, the few people that do say that cardboard, fuck that, what the hell? But if it's like, it's Nintendo, give it a shot. It's probably fucking genius. And it fucking is genius. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird.
I mean, I get it. Like Nintendo, I saw those things. I'm like, I bet those are fun, but something's gonna be the catch-22 and tick me off. And now I kind of wish I'd probably bought a couple of those, at least.
The only thing is, like, if you build them all, it's like, then you got to put them somewhere. That's where
Yeah,
I
you
put them.
can't tear them down. You don't want to wear the cardboard out.
Yeah. But freaking awesome. You
Yeah.
can still kind of find them in places if you look, if anyone's looking. But
More shit in my house. I still have a whole tub of Nerf guns that I meant to customize like 10 years ago. No, just in there. I'm like, I got to give those to some neighborhood kids. Something.
yeah, I gave my big Gatling gun to our nephew because we used to have a Nerf war at least once a year at Christmas, if not more. And I'm like, you know, I bring this here all the time. Just keep it. And it'll just be here. Like,
I'll come
there's a
down and
Nerf
bring
VR
fresh
game
P
out.
batteries and
Yeah.
What's that?
There's a Nerf VR game. I don't know if it's out, but it's coming out soon. If not, it looked actually pretty good. Funny.
Nice.
Has like all the guns and shit.
Oh, Fortnite guns now.
Pretty much.
I think they did have a way to customize some specific Nerf gun with like a vector like kit to add on. So your Nerf gun looks like my gun. Like, oh, don't show me that.
Yeah.
It's a very VR friendly romp, and we keep breaking away from that in these episodes. But thank you for counseling me, Wookiee's Couch episode. Write in if anybody cares one way or another. Like, you know, do you have a Mazda Miata, and do you drive it? And would you daily drive a Mazda Miata? Let me know. Talk me out of this, because nobody else has yet.
And it's an easy tie into VR because I'm sure there's a Mazda Miata in some game somewhere. Maybe.
Project Cars 2, maybe.
Yeah. Test drive it out.
Try that. I gotta tear apart the damn racing wheel and get that loose. Sorry, I scratched my eye and turned my headset off again. You got to get that loose action fixed, because if you guys have a racing wheel and Project Cars 2 and you can play that, holy god balls, that is the best. It is the best thing ever.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if the newer Project Cars support VR or not, or if there's the 3. I think there was a 3. Hopefully it does, because oh my god.
I enjoy racing games and stuff, but like when it's more sim than racing, like I'm very much an asshole. I like to run people off the road and stuff, but any racing game in VR is just amazing, and that Project Gotham 2 is just jaw dropping. Like in those old cars, like you like look out and the ground's right there, and it's insane.
Yeah, the old racers that were just like kind of a torpedo with like the 4 wheels on the outside and shit. Those things, you're like on the ground and you see somebody's wheel creeping up, like, and it just feels like there's a wheel like 5 inches from your face. And you're like, and you start shaking and get nervous and shit. It's so much tighter, because if we both had a wheel doing that, because if you have an Xbox, there's probably a little bit, you know, it's not as immersive, but you get a little bit more tighter control. But in the wheel, when it's got the force feedback, that's like you hit the gravel and it starts pulling you off the road, And like just managing to keep that car straight, I was amazed like how many times I didn't, like I still did smack into you, I'm sure, but like
Yeah.
the epicness of keeping that car from running into you because you would just be dead with that wheel there. There's
Yeah.
nothing like it. Like no video game experience has come that close. No flying sim, no nothing. Because it's just like you hear the audio on. I don't think I've played that on the Quest through the Link, but we played it on the Rift quite a bit. That the spatial audio that these things have, it just adds that layer, and it just like there's a car there. There's no doubt in your mind that there's a fucking car right next to you. And then when
And
you hit it, the physics freak out.
the other thing, like when you do, like when you've knocked me off, throw, like I go fucking flying, and I always have like VR 100%. So like I see the camera, like I am flying through the air,
Yeah.
spinning, like
And the
it's
physics aren't
crazy.
like super great, so it's not like a completely correct crash. You're just like wobbling up in the air until you kind of land somehow, and like just you can imagine a barf trail just squiggling out of there.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, with the perfect corners, and you go down the hill or go over a rise, and you're just like breakneck speeds in these old things, and it's just like neck to neck, and there's oh my god, there's nothing like that. It's well worth buying a racing wheel for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I wore mine the fuck out.
Yep. There was one other thing I was going to talk about. If you're watching the video and you see the little scrolling picture of everything we were going to talk about, you'll see Orkana VR, Orkana Conflict.
Going to talk.
I kind of had everything mapped out what we were going to talk about, so I had a little picture. That game is like $5 or $6 on Steam right now. Highly recommend it. I told the dev next time we have like a non-guest episode, we're gonna kind of talk about it way more, but I wanted to save that since we had so much other stuff going on. But check it out. It's a one-man team. The game's been out for a while. It's like an RTS where you can like go in God mode and control things and shrink down and actually fight. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's not like high def, ultra res textures, but for VR game, like it's gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. It's highly creative. I recommend checking it out. And then,
Combat?
Yep, Orkana Conflict VR.
Conflict. Orkana Conflict.
It's I'm just trying to get more eyes on it because it's been out for a while and it just hasn't ever gotten to see much of the light of day just because there's so much stuff. But I found it on a sale a couple months ago. I fell in love with it. Made a couple videos. Want to try and see if he wants to talk to us. Maybe at some point. But he's like, I want to add to it and do a sequel, but just not enough people have played it to make it worth it. So I'm trying to get more people to check it out. So check it out. It's cheap. It's well worth it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of cool like story elements for an RTS and a lot of like strategy, which it normally comes with RTS, but like I don't know, he just does a really cool job with everything, and every level gets like really freaking harder than the last one, and it's really, really cool to figure out how to get through it. So, just wanted to shout it out. But
yeah, when people put a lot of work into something like that, that's stuff we need to keep those devs going.
I can't put myself in his shoe, like anyone's shoes like that, where you spend all that time and pour your heart into something, and like not enough people see it to make it worthwhile to continue. Oh, that hurts, especially when it's so good.
Yeah, when the good stuff doesn't get the light, the spotlight that it needs.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had a whole other list of stuff to talk about. I just rambled.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I was gonna dedicate a whole episode to it, but I didn't want to do it this time since we had all that other stuff kind of happen. So,
is there co-op at all? Probably not.
No, that was one of the things he was like, I would like to add it, but I need more funding.
So I wanted to play the Atlas, and then maybe we can play that, and then have an episode about it. Even if he doesn't feel like joining, we can at least get the word out, or just split an episode about experiences in both of those.
Yeah. Next time it's just the two of us. We'll hopefully have done that. So
Try to set a reminder.
but probably wrap it up here.
Word.
Thanks everyone for hanging out, watching, and listening. Reminder, audio people, we do the show in VR. Come watch us. Come join us maybe someday soon. But before that, if anyone wants to come talk to us, just hit us up on Twitter and we'll get it set up.
Yep.
But thanks again. I am PJ.
I might be Wookiee.
And we don't say this is our VR verdict often anymore, but I don't know. Enjoy VR. See you next week.
By Orkana Conflict VR. That's their VR verdict.